I was playing a game with a friend last night when I celebrated our victory with an obligatory... See, I run a soundboard through my audio setup, and over time I've built up a pretty decent library of sounds. After a few minutes of air horns, sad trombones, and what I can only call our best effort, my friend asked, "Can I get access to that?" That got me thinking. I could upload everything to a cloud storage service and share a folder, but then I'd be maintaining a second copy of the same data and paying for storage I already have at home. So instead, I decided to share access to the sound library where it already lives using Tailscale and invite him to my tailnet. Before we jump in, I want to remind you that Tailscale Up, Tailscale's conference for engineering, security, and IT leaders shaping the future of secure connectivity, is happening August 26th, 2026 in San Francisco. Use the code Alex sent me for 20% off in real-life tickets. Now, I could use Tailscale Funnel if my goal was to make this available to everyone on the internet, but that's not what I want. I want to know exactly who has access to my files and to be able to manage that access over time. Now, at this point, you might be wondering why I'm inviting my friend to my tailnet instead of simply sharing the sound library machine with him. And for many situations, sharing a single machine is actually the simplest option. If someone only needs access to one device, node sharing is often the right tool for the job. It also creates a smaller trust boundary because you're only granting access to that specific machine rather than bringing someone into your entire tailnet. In my case, though, I'm treating my friend as a trusted user. By inviting him to the tailnet, I can manage his access over time as my home lab grows. So if I add new devices, services, or resources later, I can adjust what he has access to through my access policies without having to repeatedly share individual machines. So when deciding between node sharing and inviting a user, a good rule of thumb is this. If someone only needs access to a specific device, consider sharing that device. If they're a trusted friend, family member, or collaborator who may need access to multiple resources over time, inviting them to your tailnet may be the better fit. That's where Tailscale User Management comes in. In this video, I'll show you how to invite users to your tailnet, approve access, assign the right permissions, and remove access when it's no longer needed. While I'm sharing a sound library in this demo, the same process works for NAS shares, media libraries, home assistants, game servers, and other home lab resources. All right, so we're in the admin console, and here you can see all of the devices on my tailnet, including the machine hosting the sound library right here. So to invite my friend, I'm going to head up and go to the users page. And this is where you can invite external users to your tailnet and manage anyone who already has access. But before we send the invite, I want to point out one setting. If you go down here to where it says approval is required and edit in settings, that'll take you to the settings page and then user management. And you'll notice down here under user approval, I have manually approved new users enabled. This adds an extra approval step before someone can join the tailnet, which is especially useful if you allow others to invite additional users, because it ensures an administrator still has the final say over who gets access. For this demo, I'm going to leave that setting enabled. And now I'm going to head back up to the users page and we're going to invite external users. Now, up at the top here, this is Tailscale reminding us that invited users can access machines on the tailnet according to the permissions you've configured. Those permissions are controlled through ACLs, which determine what users can and can't access on your network. ACLs are a topic all on their own, so if you'd like a deeper dive, be sure to check out Alex's ACLs 101 video. You'll also notice a recommendation that if you only need to give someone access to a single machine, sharing that machine may be a better fit, which we talked about earlier. And in my case, I'm inviting a user because I want the flexibility to manage their access as my home lab grows and changes over time. The free personal plan supports up to 6 users, so small trusted tailnets with multiple users is a totally viable solution in this case. From here, I can either copy the invite link and send it through another application, or I can invite via email directly in the admin console, which is what I'm going to do. So I'll go ahead and paste his email address in. Now, before I can actually hit invite, I have to select a role, and the role determines what they can and can't do within your tailnet. And on the free plan, there are 2 options, admin and member. An admin can manage users, approve devices, modify settings, and generally control the tailnet. That's a lot more power than my friend needs. A member, on the other hand, can't manage the tailnet itself, but they can access resources according to the permissions you've configured. Since my friend only needs access to the sound library, I'm going to assign the member role. And with all of that done, I'll go ahead and send the invite. And now let's switch over to Guy's side and see what he needs to do to get connected. All right, so I see the invite in my inbox. You are invited to join a Tailscale network. Absolutely. I'm going to go ahead and hit join down here at the bottom, which is going to take me to the login page. And I'm already signed into Google, so I'm going to go ahead and choose sign in with Google and then go ahead and choose my account. You're invited to join the Ryan Tailscale GitHub Tailscale network. So I'm going to go ahead and select join tailnet. You need to be approved. All right, so Guy just accepted the invite, and now I'm going to go ahead and need to approve it. So down here at the bottom, you can see that it is letting me know that it needs approval. And if you go over here, you'll also see this little pop-out that says approve. You can hit here as well and also hit approve. So I'm going to do Guy a favor, and I'm going to go ahead and approve. Now we're going to have to go back and check in with Guy, but he should have access to my sound library now. I've been approved. Now, Ryan is sharing his sound library through a soundboard web app that's actually hosted on his tailnet. So while I can't access the files directly, I can access the soundboard that's using them and start causing chaos immediately. So I just need to go over to the URL he gave me, but it's not working. Right, because I need to go finish the Tailscale setup. Now I'm going to go back to the login page and sign in with Google again. Select the same account. And now I have to select the tailnet. So I have my tailnet and then the one that I was invited to, Ryan Tailscale.github. So I'll select that network to continue. And there you go. My account is now a member of the Ryan Tailscale.github tailnet. From here, I could go ahead and download Tailscale, but I knew we were doing this. So I went ahead and I got it downloaded and installed. But I need to connect. So I'll go ahead and hit reconnect. That will open up another authentication page, but this time it's to connect a device to a tailnet. So I'm going to sign in with the same Google account that I used previously. Select the same account. And now, connect the device. So I'm going to go ahead and connect this device to the RyanTailscale.github and connect. There we go. Now my device is part of Ryan's tailnet, and I should have access to all of the devices on his tailnet. You can see if I go to visit the console, I have to connect using the app because I'm only a member. But if I go back to Tailscale, I can now see my device as well as the other devices on the tailnet. Most importantly, the sound library. Now, if I go back to that web app, I should be able to start playing sounds. Oh yeah. Awesome. So down at the bottom, I can see now that Guy is connected. This is probably a good opportunity to show you as an owner how to remove users from your tailnet. On the users page, find the user you'd like to remove, open the menu on the far right, and select delete user. If you don't want to remove someone permanently, Tailscale also gives you the option to suspend user. Suspending a user prevents them from using Tailscale on that tailnet while preserving their account and settings, making it easy to restore access later. In this case, though, I'm going to remove Guy entirely. And just like that, the user is deleted. Guy no longer has access to my tailnet and, perhaps most importantly, my sound library. And again, while this example used a collection of questionable sound effects, the same process works for NAS shares, media libraries, home assistants, game servers, and other home lab resources. The important thing is that you're able to control who has access to your network and manage that access as your needs change over time. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.